Hi, I'm Jessica Smalls, spiritual development specialist, author of Foundation of Fire, and creator and director of Spirit Academy Sarnia. I work with people to help them identify, discover their worth. I'm here to talk to you about emotions and disease and how they're interrelated. I don't feel like there is enough information shared about this topic. I'd like to start with the definition of disease. So I don't see disease as a word per se, but I see it in word parts. And I define it as the lack of ease within the body. There are many modalities that see it this way. And disease really affects our connection to our awareness and the awareness we can have. So my connection to emotions and disease is that I spent 20 plus years living with depression and anxiety and confronting suicide head on. During that time, I also started dealing with chronic illness, and I was very, very sick. So this is a really important topic for me, not only because I'm healing myself this way now in a really alternative way, but also because all of my clients are experiencing the same thing. Most of them are dealing with some form of mental illness, and they are all dealing with some form of chronic illness. And that got me thinking, how do emotions affect our physical body? And why is it that when we are not feeling well emotionally or mentally, that our physical body starts to kind of wither and not have what it needs anymore? So I started looking at the definition of mental and emotional health. And mental health is really about processing and the way we think. And our emotional health is how we express what we've understood of what we've processed. So they go together. And they work off of one another. So if we are not able to process things accurately, and anyone who deals with trauma cannot process anything accurately, then their emotions, the way they express, is not going to be accurate either. And my belief is that when we have energy in those fields, so I think of these fields as overlays over the body. So we have our physical body, then we have our emotional body, and we have our mental body, and we have our spirit body. And my work is dealing with the spirit body because it tells me everything about everybody. I was born with many gifts, and I see and hear and feel, and I have all these parasenses that were the reason why I was depressed, because I felt so different growing up. And as I found my spiritual family that could guide me through and help me understand, I started learning that this spirit body on the outside really holds information and affects our physical health as well. So my belief is that if we do not deal with our emotions, process them accurately, or have the people in our life to provide us with community so we can mentally process properly. So when energy gets trapped in the spirit body, in the emotional body, or in the mental body for any period of time, it directly affects the health of our physical body. And I did some digging, some research, and found Dr. Dean Ornish, a cardiologist out of California. He wrote a book on heart health, but it bridges into a whole bunch of other avenues of health too. And his book is called Love and Survival. And what he's found with his heart patients is that those who had a sense of connection, love, and community had far less rates of heart disease and also overall health. They had general overall health. And what he also found was people that feel lonely and depressed and isolated have exponentially higher levels of heart disease and virtually all disease combined. So that really shocked me because that is literally my life as I'm looking at it now. So when I look at my life, I go, how can I support my life now, as opposed to other other years in my past where I didn't want to be here. Now I'm wanting to be here, and I'm saying, okay, how can I be here? How can I best support myself to be here? And in that process, I've developed kind of a really general basic understanding that I share with my clients. And so I teach people to support themselves with the very basic necessities of life. We need to make sure we have enough clean water. And water in my culture is first medicine. We always go to water. If you're tired, have some water. If you're hungry, have some water. We know that the body confuses the signal for thirst with hunger, so always have water first. And then look at your food. And if you're not eating enough food, you need to rectify that. So I end up getting an app and followed my food and tracked what I was doing and learned that I was not eating enough. I was not taking up enough calories. I wasn't eating enough protein to really support my body. So the third is sleep. So if we don't sleep from the 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. range, our organs don't get the time to be down and rest. And we know this is an issue with resting in our society. We're all so fast and we need to move, and we want to do. And that keeps us from the fourth most important part, and this is what really shifted things for me, was community, finding community. I became part of a women's circle 10 years ago, and being in that space was the first time in my life that I ever shared my truth. Being in that space was the first time in my life that I heard anyone else have a story that was similar to mine, that was really very different, that I didn't understand why I was so different, and I really felt isolated. So joining a circle was the beginning of me stepping out of isolation and really sending that grappling hook to latch onto something really solid and provide a foundation for me to hold on to something and to start reaching forward and continually pull myself out. So I've done that. I'm on the outside, and now I'm healing the chronic illness part of my journey, and I want to help other people do that too. So that's about what I'm doing. For those of you who are interested in working with me, I do 15-minute complimentary calls to find out if our energy is a match, because if our energy is not a match, I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste yours. So I offer 15-minute complimentary calls. If you are interested in dealing with the spiritual aspect of yourself and you understand that there are these different bodies of overlays and you think that there might be something to that and your solution for physical healing, then please call me. For those of you who take action in the next 5 days, you will receive a free copy of my book, Foundation of Fire: How to Step into Your Personal Power and Manifest Your Dreams. And so that's a physical copy, it's not an ebook. So I will be sending that to your door. And that is a guidebook to support people in their life to have a foundation so they can be clean and clear with themselves and find and discover and hold on to and live from their worth. So I'm Jessica Smalls. Thank you so much for joining us today, and many blessings on your journey to health.